Hi guys, my name is Grayson Martyr, and today I'm going to go through my social media vlog. So last Wednesday on 11/13, TikTok was the most used social media app that I used. I spent three hours and 18 minutes on it. As you can see, the next second longest was Snapchat, and then I spent a lot of time on Uber because I had to get an Uber. I didn't spend much time on YouTube. That was just I spent 4 minutes on it during cardio. The next day I did was Thursday 11/14. Again, TikTok was the most viewed app, but as you can see, my screen time is a lot less on social media that day because I had an event that night, and I noticed that the more time that I spend on social media, the more time I spend on social media is usually when I don't do anything specific that day. That night I had an event, so I wasn't on social media quite as much. So I noticed that. Um, but I did use a fantasy NFL fantasy app because me and my friends we all communicate on the fantasy app, like in competitions of NFL players and stuff like that. I spent 17 minutes on Snapchat, just Snapchatting, looking through stories, looking at people's stuff. I made a few calls that day. Yep. That next Friday, 11:15, I spent an hour and 53 minutes on TikTok, and we're starting to see a little bit of a trend here. Yeah, I can say that I might be a little bit obsessed, but we can also see that I spent a lot more time on Instagram on Friday, 11:15. Um, but yeah, I spent more time on Instagram that day. I guess it was just because more of my friends were posting on Instagram that day, and so I was liking and commenting on that stuff. I spent more time on Snapchat that day as well. In comparison, as we can see to that day, probably just answering more texts, looking at group chats, planning out my weekend for this week, or for planning out the next weekend because we have my fraternity formal that next week. So that's why I spent more time on Snapchat. I spent also more time on messages, looking through different texts and group chats, trying to set up our formal again. Also spent more time on Gmail. This was because I was reading my emails about what my advisors and stuff are saying about my classes for the next semester. That next Saturday, I spent 2 hours and 16 minutes on TikTok. This day I was on TikTok for a few more hours, but I was also busy on my email again, trying to get my classes set with my advisor. So it was also a very busy day on Gmail. And I did spend more time on, as we can see, music, which that's just me communicating with my friends on the music app, sharing music on there. But yeah, as we can see, I did spend quite a bit of time on TikTok, quite a big time on Snapchat, it's quite a bit of time on messages that day, and Gmail. That Sunday, I spent like little to no time on social media because of NFL Sunday. I love football, and as we can see, I didn't spend quite as much time on social media. I spent 33 minutes on Instagram, 21 minutes on Snapchat, 15 minutes on TikTok was like the lowest I think I've ever been on TikTok in one of these things on screen time, as we can see. So on Sunday, there was little to no activity on social media. On Monday, we can see that I spent 4 hours and 49 minutes on TikTok, which is quite ridiculous. I don't know why the hell I'm on TikTok that much, but we can see that I'm on TikTok for 4 hours and 49 minutes. I just wasn't doing much that day, and I'll say that's probably why I spent a lot of time on TikTok. I love scrolling. I can admit that I love scrolling. As we can see, I also spent 35 minutes on messages. Again, the reason I was on messages and Snapchat so much is because just going out. There's been a lot of planning for my formal this coming up Friday. So we were on a lot of our group chats, and so going through that with social media, Instagram again. Spent 18 minutes. I mean, it's not quite as much as a few days ago, but still, I'm always scrolling on Instagram, looking at people's stuff, communicating through their comments, looking at different things. On Tuesday, which was the last day I recorded, I spent an hour 45 minutes on TikTok, but it wasn't quite as long. I spent more time on the Roku app, which it's actually funny. Me and my friends, we text each other about Roku, about how I lost my remote. So I'm on the Roku app a lot because I lost my remote, and you can control your TV with the Roku app. I spent an hour on YouTube and Instagram that day. That's actually funny. I've been watching a lot of stuff about the Texans on Monday. Um, I was watching a lot of stuff about the Texans on YouTube on Tuesday because of the Monday football game the Texans played. So that's why I spent an hour there, and then on Instagram an hour, and then 10 minutes on Snapchat. Overall, when I look at my social media usage, I can definitely spend a lot of time on TikTok. I was enjoying using Instagram, Snapchat messages, so I can communicate with my friends and family. But overall, this project helped me look at my social media usage and help me identify where my time is going to on my phone. So thank you.